Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you how to make a very simple sign up and login form using PHP MySQL, which will run on Xampp server. So let's start. At first, you have to go to the C drive inside the Xampp folder. If you have not installed Xampp, then first install Xampp server. Then this folder will appear inside the C drive, and then inside the Xampp folder, go inside htdocs folder and then create a new folder. I am right clicking and click on new, then click on folder and give the name. I am giving the name login sign up and enter. Then right click on this folder and open it with VS Code. As you can see, the VS Code has opened. So at first I will create an index.php file. So index.php. Index.php file has been created. Now it's time to use Bootstrap to create the basic structure of our website. So I will go to the Bootstrap official website and I will copy this template, which includes both CSS and JS. So I am copying this template and I am pasting it here. Save. Then to see the output on the browser, I have to open the Xampp server. So click on this start button beside Apache module and the start button beside the MySQL module. Start these two modules inside the Xampp control panel and then go to the browser. Then the name of the folder inside which the project is created. In my case, it is login sign up. And then inside the index.php file, we have the code. So I am clicking enter. As you can see, hello world is printed. Now I want a navbar on top. For that I will go to the Bootstrap official website and I will search navbar. And then I will copy the code template and I will paste it above hello world. Save it. Refresh the output screen. As you can see, the navbar is visible on top. I don't want this extra link drop down disabled, all these things written on the top, so I will delete it. So delete the drop down. And then I will also delete the li nav item disabled. I will only keep this home and then I will also delete the link. So this much I will keep. Let's save it. As you can see, only navbar and home is visible. So in place of this navbar, I will name the brand. Let it be Take Coffee Break. I am keeping it short. In your case, you can write any kind of name you want. Then in place of home, I will keep home, and inside I will delete this role search because I don't want a search bar here. I want the login, sign up and log out buttons to be here. So I will delete this input tag. In place of search, I will type sign up. Then I will copy this 2 times. And then I will type login and then log out. In place of sign up, I want the color to be green. So for green, I have to type success and it is as it is. Then for login, I will change it to primary. If you don't know what are these, then you have to study a bit in Bootstrap that what are this. Success refers to green color, primary refers to blue color, and then for logout I will give red color. So for that it will be danger. Let's save it and see the output. As you can see, the color has changed as I want. Now I want some margin on both sides. For that I will give mx2, m for margin and x for on the x-axis, that is from right and left, I will give margin 2. Let's see. Yeah, some space has been added. Now it's time to create the login and sign up forms. So I will create two more files. One is login.php and then another one is signup.php. But before anything, I have to connect to the MySQL server, right? For that, I will have to have a connection.php file. So connection.php. To create a connection to the database, we have to create a database first. For that, I will go to the Xampp control panel and then I will click on this admin button. So you have to click on this admin button beside the MySQL module to open the PHP MyAdmin. This PHP MyAdmin will appear as you click on that admin button. Now click on this new button. To create a new database, you have to give the database name here and click on create. I already had a database DB, so I will not create a new database. So I will just click on my old database. Then I will click on new below the DB database and I will give the table name. So the table name, in my case, I want users. And I want to add 4 columns. The name of my first column will be ID. The name of my second column will be username, then email, then password. So this table I will use while signing up and then logging in. But let's not go deep into this table now because I already created a database and now I have to connect to this database. For that, I will go to my connection.php file. Then I will type PHP and inside that I will take a variable server name and inside that I will store the local host, which is the server name in my case and in your case also. Then store the username, which is root, and then store the password, which is nothing in my case, just empty quotes. In your case, if you have given some other password while installing Xampp, give that password if you remember. Then the database name, which will be DB. Then the connection I will create inside the connection variable using the new MySQLi object, and inside that I will give the server name as parameter, then the username, then the password, and then the database name. And in my case, I have changed the port from 3306 to 3307 for MySQLi. That's why I have to give this 3307 here. But in your case, if you have not changed it explicitly, then give just nothing. Okay, just delete this in your case. Delete this portion, comma 3307 in your case. Then I will check if the connection has any error or not. If the connection has failed, then I have to give a message. So die connection failed, and then I will print the error message using connect error, and if successful I will echo it, that is I will print it successful on the output screen. Now let's save it and just go to the site. Here I have the index.php file, but in place of index I will just type connection.php, and as you can see, successful is written here, so the connection is successful. Now let's complete the table which we had left halfway. So I started creating a table inside the DB database whose name is users, and I have 4 columns. So the type of ID will be int, username will be of type varchar, email will be of type varchar, password will be of type varchar. Now the password size will be maximum, so I will give 255. Then the email size I will give, the username size I will give 150, and the ID I will give 10. Okay, now the ID, I want the ID to increment automatically, so I will click on this box auto increment, and by default it will be set as the primary index of the MySQL database table, and then everything is okay. I will click on save button to save this table. As you can see, users table is created inside the DB database. As you can see, the table is created. Now let's create the sign up form. For that, go to the signup.php file and copy the default Bootstrap code. Copy the default template from here, bootstrap.com. Paste it here. Now in the sign up form, I want a form which will have username, email and password fields. For that, at first I will have a div whose ID will be form. Inside this div, I will have a heading sign up form. After that, our main form will start. The name of the form will be form and action will be signup.php, because in this file only the PHP code will exist. Method will be post, because we will be posting the values of name, password and email to the server. Inside the form tag, we will have labels for username, email, password. So, label I will copy this label 3 times more. One is for username, then the next is for email, then the next is for password. It is for enter password, and then last is for retype password. All the labels are done. Then we have to give the input fields. So input, type of input for username will be text. ID I will give user. Name also I will give user. This name and ID will be used to fetch the values. And then I will give the attribute required, because this field is required to be filled. If someone doesn't fill it and clicks on the sign up button, then he will not be able to process it further. Okay. And then I will give 2 line breaks, BR tags. I will copy this input field and I will paste it after email, then after enter password, and after retype password. For password, the type will be password. Then again, for the create password, the type will be password. For email, the type will be email, and the ID for email will be email. Name will also be email. Then name for password will be pass, and ID will be pass, and ID for retype password will be cpass. Name for retype password will be cpass. Okay, let's save it and see the output. For that, you have to type on the URL localhost, then the name of the folder, that is login sign up, and inside that we are now working with signup.php. So signup.php. As you can see, the heading sign up form and then the 4 input fields are visible. Now let's do the structure for the login form also. It will be similar to sign up form. Let's copy the sign up form whole. and let's paste it on the login form. Now the user can enter either the username or the email. So if he forgets the username, he can enter the email and login, and if he forgets the email, he can enter the username and password and can log in. So I will give enter username/email, and I will delete the field that is the separate field for email, and I will delete this retype password field because for login we only need to enter password once. Okay, let's save it. See the output. In place of sign up form, it is the login.php. Yeah, the login.php is also looking fine. Now I want the nav bar to be present above all the pages across the sign up, login, or whatever the page is. The nav bar should be present on top. For that, I will have a separate file whose name will be navbar.php, and I will go to the index.php file. I will just copy the navbar whole and I will paste it in navbar.php and I will save it. Now I will delete the navbar from index.php file, and in place of this navbar I will include the PHP file. So $PHP open tag, then under that I will include navbar.php. Similarly, I will include this PHP code which includes the navbar file. I will paste this inside the login.php file also above the form. So inside the body, the first tag will be under PHP, which will show the navbar. I will save it, and similarly in the sign up form also below the body I will paste this PHP code which includes the navbar code. As you can see, above the sign up form the navbar is visible, and if I go on the URL and type signup.php, this also shows the navbar, and if I go to the index.php file, then also it shows the nav. Now I want to navigate to all the pages through these buttons: sign up, login, and log out. For that, go to the navbar.php file. In place of buttons, type A for anchor tag, because these are links which will redirect us to some pages, and inside this add attributes href equals to the sign up will redirect to signup.php. So signup.php, then login will redirect to login.php, and then logout will redirect to logout.php. Fine. So if now I save it and go to the output, then if I click on sign up, it will show me the sign up form. If I click on login, it will show me the login form, and for now logout is nothing, so logout is empty. One thing, if you notice that if I click on this login form, the login form appears but the heading is still sign up form, so that I have to change. So I will go to the login form and then I will change it to login form. So login form, and now if I go to the output, it shows me the login form. Now let's do the PHP code for the sign up form so that this form actually works and submits the data to the database. For that, we have to go to the signup.php file. Now we will start our PHP code from the top of this HTML file inside the signup.php file. If you can remember, the form has action signup.php. So whatever action will take place after we click the submit button on this form, the PHP code will stay here only. So at the top we will start our PHP tags, opening and closing tags, and inside it we will check if the submit button is clicked or not. If you can remember that the method is post for this form, so using the post method we will submit the details to the database. So if is set $post submit, if submit button is clicked, then we will include the connection file, that is connection.php, to connect to the database. Now we will take a variable $username and we will store the value of the username which is submitted using the post method. So $post user. Then similarly we will copy this 3 times more, and then we will change it to email. We will store the email value, we will store the password value, we will store the repeat password value also. So the repeat password will be stored in the variable cpassword, and the name of the repeat password, if you can remember, it is cpass. So remember to give this name correctly, because these names are the only attributes which will be able to identify this input fields, and it will submit the value to the database. So the user email pass cpass should be same as the names here in the HTML code. After that, we will take a variable $SQL and we will write the query to get the number of rows which have the username similar to this user. Okay, so we will just check that the user who wants to sign into this website, is this user already exist in the database or not. For that, at first we will give the query select star from users, because users is the table in the database. If you can remember, this was our database DB, this, and inside that we have the users database, and this is the structure of the users table. Okay, this is the structure. It has 4 columns: ID, username, email, password. ID is auto increment, it is set to auto increment, so we don't have to worry about the ID. We will only submit the values of username, email and password. For now, let's store this query, that is select star from users, where username is equal to username. $username contains the value and username is the column name of the table. Okay, and then we will store the result in the result variable. MySQL query is the function which is used to fetch the rows in the form of array. Okay, so this will submit the query and it will also fetch the rows and store in the result variable in the form of an array. Then we will count the number of rows returned. Okay, the number of rows with this username which is present in the table, it will be returned. Then similarly we will also check if the email is present or not. If this email is present previously, then this user cannot sign up to this website with the existing email, right? For that, we will just copy these 3 lines again and we will change the username to email. So select star from users, where email is equal to email. Then count email will be the variable which contains the number of rows which contains the same email. Then we will check if count user or count rows equal to 0, that is if this email and username does not exist previously, then we will do the further code for signing up into the website. But if not, so else we will alert a message to the user, that is user already exists, right? And we will navigate to the index.php page. So if user already exists, we will just redirect the user to the index.php page again, which is the normal default page. Okay, so window.location of .href is the attribute which will redirect us, that is it will change the location of the window to the index.php. After that, if the passwords match, that is the password and the retyped passwords match, which are stored in $password and $cpassword, then we will do the further processing for sign up. But if they don't match, then else we will alert a message to the user that the passwords do not match, and we will redirect the user to the index.php page. Okay, or we can redirect it to the signup.php page itself. That is, we will tell the user to sign up again because passwords do not match. Then if nothing happens like this, that is no user already exists or the passwords match, if everything is all right, that is no user exists previously and passwords match, then we will do the further code for signing up. Then we will create a hash value of the password. Now what is hash? So if you can see this diagram, so this is the normal password which is in plain text, and this hash function converts into something like this. Okay, so basically hashing is the process of transforming any given key or string of characters into another value which is fixed in size. So why to convert into this hash password? Because this hashed password is difficult to decrypt. So hackers will not be able to decrypt this password easily, but they will be decrypt this password very easily. For that we will use a hash function. So $hash is the variable which will store the value of the hashed password, and we will use the function password hash. This password hash is a PHP function which will convert the normal plain text into a hashed password. So it will contain the parameters $password, and then we have to give the algorithm. So there are two types of algorithm: password default or password decrypt. You can use any of the algorithm, both are almost same, they have a slight difference, you can read about it later. Then we will take this variable $SQL and we will store the query to insert the values of the username, password and email to the table in the database. The table name, if you remember, it is users table and the database is DB. So insert into users into the columns which are username, email and password, and then the values will be $username, $email and $hash. Then we will take the result, that is we will submit this SQL query and we will fetch the number of rows, that is the rows in the form of arrays, and we will store it into this result. So this result variable will contain the array which will contain the number of rows returned after submitting this query. So MySQL query is the function which sends a query to the currently active database on the server that's associated with the specified link identifier. So it will contain two parameters, $con, that is the connection parameter, and the SQL query, $SQL. Now one thing, if you have noticed that in the else part I have given this alert password do not match. So this is a JavaScript code and we cannot type it directly inside a PHP file. For that we have to enclose it within a script tag and we have to display it using echo function of the PHP. For that I will type echo and enclose this JavaScript inside the script tags because this is a JavaScript code. Similarly, in the next else part also we will enclose it within the script code and print it using the echo function of PHP. Okay, so if you can see that I have no button, so submit button is missing. Let's give the submit button first. Now for the sign up button, we have to go to the HTML part of this PHP file below the repeat password field, and then we have to give this input tag, input type will be submit, and then the ID I want it to be btn, and value will be sign up, then the name will be submit, because this name you have to write very carefully because this is the same name which will be written here also if is set $post submit. So this submit button, if it's clicked, then only this PHP code will run. So this submit you have to give it carefully and then close this input tag. Now let's see the output. refresh it, and yeah, you can see that the sign up button is visible now. So let's give some input D. So I am giving it D, and then d@gmail.com, and the password and repeat password, both I am giving it D. After that, I click on sign up, and now let's see the database table. So let's browse to this table. And as you can see, the username D, the email d@gmail.com, and the password in the form of hash is present in the database table. So our sign up form is successfully done. Now, if I enter some special characters in this place, and then I give an email ID, suppose this, and then I give some password, and I click on sign up, then it shows me this error that uncaught MySQL exception, you have an error in your SQL syntax. Now this error appears because I entered some special characters in the username. Because MySQL or any kind of relational database does not accept special characters. And this is the way through which SQL injection happens. In SQL injection, a malicious code get access to our database and might destroy it or steal data by exploiting the PHP application through a combination of characters. As you can see, the hacker can use a combination of character and special characters to enter into the database and exploit it. So for that, just because MySQL does not support any kind of special characters, I have to make it supportable. Like I have to use a function MySQL real escape string. So this is a PHP function which is used to escape the special characters, and this special character combinations will be submitted to the database table. So I am using this function MySQL real escape string. As you can see, I have added this MySQL real escape string function to every input. Now let's see the output. Suppose I am again giving some special characters, and then I am giving a random email, and then I am clicking on sign up. So the error shows that there should be 2 arguments and 1 is given. Now, okay, so I also have to give the connection variable $con, because it needs 2 arguments. One is the correct connection to the database and another is the value of the string. So $con, and then I am saving it. I'm refreshing it. And now I am giving some special characters in the field. Then I am giving a random email. And then I am clicking on sign up. As you can see, sign up is successful. Successful is written on the top, and let's see the database table whether it's submitted or not. As you can see, this special character combination is submitted. Now, as you can see, this successful is appearing, but I don't want to see the successful thing appearing here. So I will just go to my connection file, and I will just delete this successful string and I will replace it with empty quotes. Now there is a mistake. As you can see, I have given the condition if the number of user returned and the number of rows. This will not be rows, this will be email. Okay, if there is any row which contains this email or which contains this user, then it will go to the else part. Else it will just check whether the 2 passwords are same or not, and if the 2 passwords are not same, then it will go to the else part. Else it will just sign up the user. Okay, let's save it. Now let's refresh it, and I am going to the sign up form, and I am giving the same D username which I had given previously to just check whether I can enter duplicate values or not while signing up. So I am just giving some duplicate username and email, and I am signing up. As you can see, it shows the alert user already exists. So a person cannot sign up twice. Now let's code the logic for the login form. I'm in the login form right now. At first, I will start the PHP code from the top of this file. So, open PHP tags and close PHP tags. And inside that, I will check if is set $post submit or not. That is, if the user has clicked on the submit button in the login form or not. If the user has clicked on the submit button, then only further process will take place. And if you remember, this is the form and the method is post here, so we have used $post. And now I will extract the username using $post user, because user is the attribute name of this input field. Okay, if you see this input field, it has the name attribute value user, so this value only you have to use to extract the value. Similarly, okay, at first we will use the function mysqli real escape string. Why? Because as you know from the sign up form, you have seen that MySQL does not support special characters. So for that, to escape the special characters, we have to use this function mysqli real escape string. Similarly, we will also extract the password, and the password field has this name pass, so we will use pass value of this name attribute to extract the password value. Then we will write our query to check that if the user with this username or email exists or not. And if you have noticed that we have written enter username/email, so in this field, that is the login, in the login form, enter username or email. In this field, the user can enter either the username or the email. Okay, for that we have to write the query like this: select star from users where username equals to username, that is this username value matches with the username column in the table, or email column of the table. So either username equals to username or email equals to username. Just rewatch this part to understand it better. Then we have to change the action from sign up to login. Okay, if you had seen previously, the action was signup.php, but this is the login form. So whenever I click on the submit button in the form, it should redirect me to login.php. The PHP code lies in this file only, whose name is login.php. You can create a separate PHP file also. In that case, you have to include the file name here at the top of this file, but let's not go to that for now. After that, we will take a variable result which will store the value of this query. So MySQLi query is the function which will query the database with this select star statement, and the result it will store in the result variable. Now we will fetch the rows using the function MySQLi fetch array. So the number of rows which matches this username as username or email will be returned and stored in this row variable. Now we will check if row exists, that is, if any row with this username or email exists, then we will check if password matches with that password or not. Okay, the row which is returned by this result, that has a column password, right? So this row, $row, I am just increasing the size a bit. So this $row has a field password. Okay, so it contains a hashed password, and if this password matches with this password, we will do further processing. So this password verify function converts this password into hash and then compares these two hash functions, okay, two hash passwords. After that, if the two password matches, then it will navigate to welcome.php. So this is a separate file which will be the dashboard, you can say, or the landing page after logging in into the website. So we have not made this welcome.php for now, we will make it later. Now if no row is returned, that is no row has this username or email, then what we will do is we will write a JavaScript code inside which we will alert login failed, or we can type invalid username or password, and then we will navigate to login.php page again. Let's save it and see the output. As you can see, there is no login button, so I will just paste the submit button to this login form, and I will change the value to login, and then let's save it, refresh it, and I am entering the value D, and I am clicking on login, and as you can see, the error shows that okay, again I have made the same mistake. MySQL real escape string needs 2 arguments, but I think I have given 1 argument. So inside it we have to give the connection variable, and I also have to include the connection.php file. Now refresh it. Okay, so I am again giving D and D. Let's click on the login file, and as you can see, no, not found, because welcome.php we have not created. Let me create the welcome.php. Welcome.php, and inside it I will just paste the bootstrap code. Inside welcome.php I will paste the bootstrap code, that is the default template. I will just copy and paste it from the Bootstrap website, and I will type welcome. Let's save it and see the output. So D and D I have given as inputs, and then I am logging in. As you can see, the welcome is visible, so our login is successful. Now what if I give some special character here? Then invalid username or password. So the username or password doesn't exist, or you can say the username or email doesn't exist. So you can also give this message that invalid username, email or password. Username, email or password. Okay, fine. Yeah. Since this video is only focused on the logic of sign up and login form, so I will not waste time on explaining the style.css file. If you want the explanation, then comment down below. I will create a separate video. But for now, I will just paste the code for styling here. Then I have to add this style.css file to every file, okay? To every PHP file. For that, I have come to the login.php file, and below the title, I will add link rel style sheet href style.css. Style.css is the file which contains the CSS code. Save it. Then I will go to welcome, and I will paste it below the title. Save it. I will go to the signup.php, paste it below the title, and save it. Go to the index.php, paste it below the title, and save it. Go to connection. No need to go to connection. Logout. For now, logout is empty. Let's just add a simple code, if not the actual logic, but just add a single navigation code, PHP tags. Within the tags, I will just navigate to the index.php. So if someone clicks on the logout button, that person will go to the index.php page. So this is not the actual code for logout. I will show it later, but for now this will work. And as you can see, I have already added a new folder, images, and inside that I have added a image for the background. Okay, so this background image I have used in the CSS file. If you go to the CSS file, the background has URL images background.jpg. So under images folder we have background.jpg image, which will be the background of this body, and then the whole CSS code will be there. Now let's see the output. As you can see, after adding the CSS file, this is the look which we got. The form is aligned on the center and the background has changed to this. So if I click on the sign up button, it shows me the sign up form. If I click on the login button, it shows me the login form. Now I want to click on the home button to go to the welcome.php page and this branding to go to the index.php page. For that, I have to edit the navbar. So in place of href beside the home, I will add welcome.php, and for the href of this branding I will add index.php. Now refresh it. If I click on home, I go to the welcome.php, and this welcome.php does not have the navbar. Let's add it. In the index.php file, I will add a code snippet which contains the picture. Okay, so there is a div tag, and inside that there is an image whose src is this. So I have just copied the image address from the browser and pasted it here. So img src within quotes the image address, and it is enclosed within div tag, and I have given a style, inline css to justify it to the center. So display flex justify content center. As you can see, let's save it and see the output. As you can see, the cat image is shown here. So this will be the default landing page, and if I sign up, then it will redirect us to login, and if I log in, it will redirect us to this welcome.php page. Now I want to change the look of this welcome a little bit similar to the login or sign up form, which are aligned to the center and middle. For that, in the welcome.php file, I will add this h1 tags. Within h1 tags we have welcome, and this is enclosed within div tags whose id is form. Remember, this form has style which was used to style the login and sign up form also. So this id form is also used in the login form to enclose this whole form within the id form, and also in the sign up form to align it in the center and middle. So the same thing we have used in welcome.php. Let's save it and see, it appears like this. So yeah guys, that's it for today. I have created the sign up logic, the login logic. You can navigate through the nav bar through different pages. The only thing which is left is the logout logic. It involves session. I will explain it in the next video in part 2. Wait for the part 2 guys, it will be uploaded the next day, and I will paste the link in the description. So don't forget to see the part 2 of this video. For now, if you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel, and please share it with your friends who need it. Thanks for watching my video. Have a nice day.